Did you know that the concept of pleasure marriages has gained attention in Indonesia? These temporary unions allow couples to enjoy companionship and intimacy without long-term commitments. This practice is particularly prevalent in the Puncak region, a popular tourist destination known for its natural beauty. Recently, a disturbing trend has emerged in Indonesian villages where young women from impoverished backgrounds enter into short-term marriages with male tourists, primarily from the Middle East, in exchange for money. This has sparked widespread condemnation online. To understand this topic, it's essential to explore the motivations behind these marriages. Many women, seeking autonomy and fulfillment in a society with strict expectations, find pleasure marriages appealing. These unions allow them to explore their sexuality and desires without the constraints of conventional marriage. However, this trend raises critical questions about gender roles, societal pressures, and implications for family structures in Indonesia. In this video, we will delve into the cultural and social ramifications of pleasure marriages in Indonesia. We will uncover the stories of women who have chosen this path, the challenges they face, and the broader impact on Indonesian society. By shedding light on this dark secret, we aim to foster a deeper understanding of the evolving landscape of relationships in Indonesia, encouraging viewers to reflect on the complexities of love, desire, and freedom in a rapidly changing world. In Indonesia, pleasure marriages refer to temporary unions where women from underprivileged backgrounds marry visiting male tourists. These marriages last for the duration of the tourist's stay and dissolve once they leave. The women receive a dowry for the marriage in exchange for sexual and domestic services, often facilitated by agents or brokers who take a portion of the dowry. Reports indicate that some women engage in temporary marriages as many as 15 to 20 times, earning between $300 to $500 per arrangement. Those who are virgins can command significantly higher payments, sometimes earning up to $3,000 for a single marriage. Pleasure marriages, gaining traction in Indonesia, primarily focus on sexual relationships rather than traditional lifelong commitments. In a culture where marriage is considered sacred, these unions allow women to seek personal fulfillment and autonomy. Women choose pleasure marriages for various reasons, including a desire for freedom and control over their bodies. In a landscape where traditional marriages come with societal pressures, these arrangements can provide a means for women to prioritize their needs and desires. However, societal perceptions of pleasure marriages often carry stigma, with many viewing these unions as morally questionable, leading to judgment and ostracism from conservative segments of society. Understanding pleasure marriages requires a nuanced perspective that considers both individual motivations and broader cultural implications. Women in Indonesia pursue pleasure marriages is often driven by a complex interplay of personal desires, economic factors, and emotional connections. At the heart of this trend is a growing yearning for autonomy and fulfillment. Many women seek relationships that allow them to express individuality and explore identities outside traditional marriage, enabling them to experience companionship and intimacy on their terms. Financial considerations are significant as well. Women may find that pleasure marriages provide financial support or stability. In a country with prevalent economic disparities, many women face challenges in achieving independence, leading them to consider arrangements that offer immediate financial benefits. For women with stable incomes, the pressure to enter traditional marriages is lessened, reflecting a broader societal change prioritizing personal happiness. Emotional connections are another critical aspect. Temporary unions can foster deep emotional bonds, allowing meaningful relationships without long-term commitments. This intimacy provides a sense of security while enabling personal growth, illustrating a desire for a balanced approach to love and relationships. Economic factors also play a crucial role. Women may find that entering into a pleasure marriage provides them with financial support or stability. Economic conditions significantly influence women's decisions regarding pleasure marriages. For many, these unions present a pragmatic solution to financial hardships, particularly in urban areas where the cost of living is high. Women from lower-income backgrounds may feel compelled to seek these arrangements for survival, while those from more affluent families might choose traditional marriage or remain single. This disparity highlights varying motivations driven by economic realities. For women lacking stable employment, pleasure marriages can offer a safety net, allowing them to navigate their economic challenges while pursuing personal fulfillment. The rise of pleasure marriages in Indonesia stems from a complex interplay of cultural factors, particularly the influences of religion and tradition. As the largest Muslim-majority country, Indonesia traditionally views marriage as a sacred bond with expectations of fidelity and family responsibilities. However, these norms are increasingly challenged, especially among younger generations seeking autonomy. Modernity and globalization have empowered women to make decisions about their lives and relationships. This shift leads some to view pleasure marriages as viable options for emotional and physical satisfaction, free from conventional expectations. Regional differences further complicate perceptions of pleasure marriages. In urban areas, modern values may normalize these unions, while rural regions may resist them. Understanding these cultural factors is crucial to grasp the complexities surrounding pleasure marriages in Indonesia, reflecting broader societal changes and the ongoing negotiation of women's rights and identities. Pleasure marriages significantly influence the dynamics between men and women, often reshaping traditional power structures and notions of equality. In these unions, women frequently have greater agency, negotiating terms based on personal desires rather than societal expectations. This shift can foster a sense of equality, promoting a more balanced dynamic in relationships. However, the emotional implications of pleasure marriages can be complex. While they offer freedom and exploration, women may experience insecurity or anxiety about the future due to the temporary nature of these unions. Men may also face a mix of empowerment and vulnerability, leading to a re-evaluation of their roles in partnerships. Societal perceptions complicate these dynamics. While some view pleasure marriages as progressive, others see them as morally questionable, creating pressure on both partners. Ultimately, pleasure marriages challenge conventional notions of love and partnership, prompting a re-evaluation of gender roles in contemporary Indonesian society. Women engaging in pleasure marriages in Indonesia encounter a variety of challenges that can complicate their experiences and impact their well-being. One of the most significant hurdles is societal stigma and judgment. Many view these unions as morally questionable, leading to negative perceptions that can affect women's reputations and social standing. This stigma often results in feelings of isolation and shame, creating internal conflict as women navigate their choices against societal norms. Additionally, women in pleasure marriages may face potential legal and financial issues. Without legal recognition, these unions lack the protections afforded to traditional marriages, complicating matters related to property rights, inheritance, and child custody. This absence leaves women vulnerable, particularly if they rely on their partners for financial support. Emotional vulnerabilities also play a role. While these relationships can provide freedom, they may lead to feelings of insecurity and fear of abandonment. The temporary nature of pleasure marriages creates emotional turbulence, impacting women's overall well-being. The legal status of pleasure marriages in Indonesia significantly shapes the experiences of women involved. Currently, these unions lack formal recognition, placing women in precarious positions without rights and protections, leaving them vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. The lack of recognition complicates issues like property rights, child custody, and access to social services, marginalizing women who choose this path. Social consequences can be profound. Many face stigma and judgment from families and communities, impacting their social standing and relationships. This pressure can create a challenging environment for women asserting their autonomy and making non-traditional choices, often forcing them to navigate their lives in secrecy. In response to these challenges, advocacy efforts to improve women's rights are gaining momentum in Indonesia. Various organizations are working to raise awareness about the issues surrounding pleasure marriages and the need for legal protections for women. These advocates emphasize recognizing women's agency and promoting gender equality within Indonesian society. By pushing for legal reforms and social acceptance, these efforts aim to create a more supportive environment, allowing women to make informed choices without fear of stigma. Despite challenges, there are inspiring stories of women thriving in pleasure marriages. One example is Sari, a young professional who chose this path to focus on her career while enjoying companionship. This arrangement has allowed her to prioritize personal goals without the pressures of conventional marriage, demonstrating that pleasure marriages can offer independence and connection. Another inspiring story is Rena, who initially faced societal judgment but discovered a deep emotional bond with her partner. This experience led her to become an advocate for women's rights, challenging societal norms and encouraging other women to pursue relationships that align with their values. These success stories highlight the positive aspects of pleasure marriages, illustrating that while these relationships may not fit traditional molds, they can still provide happiness, fulfillment, and meaningful connections. By sharing these narratives, we foster a greater understanding of the diverse ways women navigate love and partnership, empowering others to embrace their choices. In our exploration of pleasure marriages in Indonesia, we examined the cultural context shaping women's choices, motivations driving these relationships, and the challenges faced along the way. Pleasure marriages offer women a unique opportunity for autonomy and fulfillment, enabling them to navigate their desires in a society with traditional expectations. However, these unions come with societal stigma, legal uncertainties, and emotional vulnerabilities that complicate the experience. We encourage you, our viewers, to engage thoughtfully with this topic. Consider the implications of pleasure marriages and the cultural context shaping women's decisions in Indonesia. Your reflections can contribute to a more nuanced understanding of these issues and foster meaningful conversations within your communities. As we wrap up this discussion, we encourage you to engage with the content. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions on relationships and cultural dynamics. Don't forget to like and share this video with friends and family. By doing so, you help raise awareness about the complexities surrounding pleasure marriages and the ongoing struggle for women's rights. Together, we can create a platform for dialogue and understanding, empowering women and advocating for their choices in a rapidly changing world. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.